Classic Hits Public Affairs and Information Program. Views and opinions expressed are not necessarily those of Classic Hits Radio's management or staff.
And good morning, it's Lupe, Classic Hits, 92.7, 95.3. WA football heads into a bye week after a heartbreaking loss in overtime against the Golden Bucks of Bucksport. We will analyze the game with Coach Will Graneri and former NFL player and remote coach Glenn Foley. They're joining us on the Street Beat this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Coach, before we talk to our remote coach, Glenn Foley, let's start with what went well during last Friday's game.
Well, I would say first and foremost, we made the biggest improvement from week 1 to week 2, particularly with our running game and our passing game and our special teams play. I mean, during the course of the game, we were able to force 3 fumbles. We got an interception. We ran for over 200 yards, threw for over 100, got a safety, and blocked a punt. So we're big improvement over week 1 with the boys.
All right. So tell us what you're working on this week to correct some of the errors in the game from last week.
Yeah, so one of the areas where we really had some confusion had to do with our blocking schemes. We had a really difficult time trying to block their defensive end, so we spent a lot of time yesterday just making sure that, everybody knows who they're blocking, whether they're playing, a 3-3 defense or a 4-2 defense. So I think we got that heading in the right direction, along with working on some things on defense that we needed to change, particularly our pass defense.
Talk to us a little bit about how you break down film to help improve the students' game.
So we normally will watch film. If we play a Friday night game, we'll watch film, Saturday morning, early in the morning. We got back about 2 a.m. in the morning, so we gave the boys off for the weekend since we have a bye week. And we broke the game down for about 2 hours. And really what we're making sure is like on the defensive side, it's really about alignment, assignment, and technique, that we are aligned correctly, that everybody knows their assignment, and we're using the proper techniques. So that would be one thing that we're looking for. And then obviously on offense, just making sure that we're in the right formation, and that the boys are executing. And just making, those would be a couple things that we just look at each individual play with. And we're seeing a marked improvement in that with the boys. All
right, so let's head into our interview with Glenn Foley.
Great.
Tell us a little bit about Glenn real quick.
Well, Glenn is someone who is a former NFL player who played 6 years with the New York Jets and the Seattle Seahawks. Glenn is also a Boston College grad, and most notably one of his big wins in the program win was beating number 1 Notre Dame back in 1993. Glenn also finished in the top 5 in the Heisman Trophy race back then, and he's a really good friend, and he is a consultant to Washington Academy football, and it's a real, I'm very blessed to have him working with us.
All right. Let's talk to Glenn, and you're going to ask him a few questions to help you with your program.
Let's do it. Okay, so I'm here with Glenn Foley, who is part of the Washington Academy football program as a consultant to our team. Glenn, thanks for coming on.
Oh, hey, it's great to be here. Solid start to your season. You guys are now doing the 8-man game, which is great. A lot of fun. I've been watching some of the film, but the 30-buck on the first play for a touchdown was dynamic to start the season for the Washington Academy Raiders. No, but it's fun to see my buddy Will up there coaching and trying to get this program up and running.
So, you and I, we talk 2-3 times a week and everything, and obviously you were very blessed to be able to play football at BC and then with the Jets, and then you were the head football coach at Valley Forge Military Academy. So maybe you can share with the audience, and obviously we working together here. Can you compare your experience there with some of the things that I'm trying to do here in terms of building the program up?
Yeah, I think, the first thing you want to do is you got to read the room. I think, you tiptoe into the first year, with your philosophies, knowing you can't barnstorm in like Tom Coughlin did at Boston College and start throwing people around the room. So I got to kind of get a feel for the team. The key is, and I think you've done a great job with this, is to get the families and the parents involved and get the school involved with the program. And I think I did that. That was the first thing that I thought was important to do at Valley Forge. We ended up winning the national championship, which was a side note to all the work we did in the summer and all the running we did. But to make it a family atmosphere, and from watching the cars that surround the field up there, you guys have a special thing going on up there. And the next step, obviously, to get the youth involved. But you're doing a great job in terms of getting people to the games, getting the families involved, getting the kids excited for the games, and then having great Friday nights. Friday night lights in Maine look like a lot of fun. I didn't get there this year because my daughter was playing volleyball. I promised. We're going to do lobster and laser quarterback camp next year and flag football up there in Maine. So I'm looking forward to getting up there, but it's still fun watching you guys on TV.
Yeah, and one of the things, and you gave me a great piece of advice. You said, you know what, you're not coaching football, you're coaching life, and that's so true because every day you're dealing with different things that kids deal with now, and that's been really helpful to me for sure.
Yeah, and the family, these are kids. This is the last. Some of them they're going off to work, or they're going off to, maybe the military or off to college, and it's it's the last time the families and the kids really get together. You want them to be involved. I was down. We actually worked together at coaching in Maryland, and the football coach didn't want the families involved. I'm like, that's crazy. So. Once the families are involved, the families bring food. My Valley Forge Military Academy families would show up. It was a boarding school, so they would show up, and I actually made them each bring their own family dish, and it was wild. Afterwards, we would sit and eat as a team and a family, and the football team is the football team when you're on the field. It's a bunch of guys, but then after the game, it's the families, it's the aunts, it's the uncles, it's the grandmothers, and it's the families, and win, lose, or draw, you're doing it as a unit, and it makes it more special and more memorable in the end.
Yeah, and obviously the parents are so really, really important, and I know I've kind of taken that from you. We're blessed to now have someone that's going to be a team photographer for us. Parents obviously providing food for the kids when we travel. We're eating meals together before, either the night before or the day of. And so we've had a lot of people involved, and we have a lot of support from the administration at Washington Academy and the boys making the commitment, especially in an area in East Machias where football has really not been the thing. And little by little, we're building it up.
And what you could ultimately do, and it's great here. And I got my little guy. I got a 7-year-old, believe it or not, as a 55-year-old man. It's not the energy level is different, but flag football. Start the flag football leagues up there, and that's what really gets the youth involved. And then they don't have to get to the concussions and the hitting and all that, and that you're still playing football. So as part of your job, and I was doing this at Valley Forge, you're immediately going to any youth football leagues or even starting leagues your own, and you're trying to get the young kids in the area to start playing flag football, and then you have a feeding line right into the school, and then, hopefully you can build from there.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you a question. What message would you send to the kids that I have on the team regarding, athletics and academics? I mean, you were very blessed to be able to play college football at the highest level, and then obviously play in the NFL, and, you're part of that 1%. But what message would you say to the kids regarding athletics and academics and your experience at BC?
Well, I actually could have. I was recruited all over the country. I went to Boston College because I wanted to make sure my academics, regardless of what happened in football, my academics were straight. So, number one, academics are number one. And academics, it doesn't just mean math, and it means showing up early, wanting to go to school early, being the first one to school, getting up, getting your homework done right after school, not messing around. A lot of kids have to work, but life is not easy, but get your schoolwork done, and not perfect attendance. If you can get perfect attendance, of course you can be sick and you can get sick. Perfect attendance is a guaranteed good grade. So attendance is key. Tom Coughlin used to say, if you're not 5 minutes early, you're late. So be early to your classes. Make sure you're getting your stuff done. You're responsible for you. Get your grades, and hey, you're like you're competing in football against the other team. You're competing in the classroom against the other kids in your class. You're going to let the kid in the front row beat you? No, I was competing in everything I did. So there's no reason you shouldn't have the best grade unless you're getting outworked. So academics, one, be on time. Don't be late to anything. That just means you're not caring. And then all the other stuff, the football stuff's going to come easy if you're getting all this other stuff down. So, but show up on time. Make sure you're loving your family and telling your family you love them every day. Do the things you're supposed to. Do your job. Bill Belichick used to tell us when I played with him that if you're doing your job as a 15-year-old, which is simply go to school, get there on time, get good grades, get to practice on time, get home, tell your family you love them, eat with them, and then do it all over again. Great things will happen. And just if you can get yourself up, get yourself to school, and do the right thing every day, you'll be fine.
Yeah, and you were very, very blessed. You almost have a PhD in football that you had the opportunity to work with Tom Coughlin, two-time Super Bowl winning coach. Then you worked with Pete Carroll, who's probably a future Hall of Famer, Bill Parcells, Bill Belichick, Mike Holmgren, all these people that you've had a chance to work with. Is there one particular message that maybe all of them encompass in terms of teaching life lessons?
Yeah, basically, this is what I said. Never miss a day. Someone's depending on you today.
Yeah. And
if you don't show up, you now that person and 2 or 3 other people that were depending on you, now you've let them down.
Yeah.
So you don't want to be let down. So every one of those guys was be on time, be early. Now they had the ability to fine us $5,000 to $10,000 if we were late. So that was a little more incentive. But just get up and do your job every day. Get up every single day. And if you can learn that at an early age, you're going to make a lot of money in life.
Yeah. Well, and you know this, Glenn. I'm very grateful for everything that you do for me in terms of helping me in my first year here at Washington Academy here. And obviously we got a wonderful school, great kids, and hopefully you can make it up here, get to meet everybody. And but you've been
usually up there in early July 4th. I want to do this. I'm thinking lobster and lasers for quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And then we incorporate with some flag football. But I'm a lobster guy. I used to go up there every summer.
Yeah.
And then they put the lobster in the seaweed and with all the vegetables and everything.
Yeah.
So I want to need a huge lobster bake on the beach somewhere when I come up there for this. I don't accept cash. I only accept lobster. so if you're going to pay me, I get paid in lobster tail, and drawn butter.
Yeah. Is there one particular memory that you could share with everybody in either your college or pro career that stands out?
Well, the Notre Dame game. I mean, Notre Dame was number 1 in the country. Their last game, and today it would have been unbelievable because of all the social media.
Yeah.
But Notre Dame was going to the national championship. Everyone was thinking Notre Dame.
Yeah.
And we beat them. We beat them 41-39 in an unbelievable game.
Yeah.
And you can look it up on YouTube. YouTube, Boston College, Notre Dame, 1993. What an unbelievable football game it was.
Yeah. That was the best. Well, listen, thanks.
And you remember when I decimated Penn State at Penn State too. 92, your Penn State Nittany Lion.
I know. Well, we're both Jersey guys, and I remember watching that game, and you just carved up the Penn State defense left and right and everything.
The good old days, the glory days. And then, hey, these are the days that these kids at Washington Academy can look forward to.
Yeah.
It's right there for you now. These are the days you got to put in the grind. Summer,
yeah.
Coming game 1, Rare and Rippon's going to go and in great shape, and then you guys go start to seeing the scouts show up.
Yeah. Well, Glenn, the best thing I could say about you is as good as a football player you are, you're twice as nice of a good person, and I really appreciate you coming on to help promote Washington Academy football and athletics and academics, and you're a real blessing to me in terms of me being able to call you and bounce things off of you.
Oh, anytime. Go Raiders, and let's get a win. Who we got this week now?
Well, we got a bye this week, so next week we're going to have homecoming, and next Friday night on the 26th, I think we got Mountain View, and we're cleaning up the mistakes, and the Boyles will be ready to go next week.
You guys did a great job from week 1 to week 2 in terms of performance. Getting to an overtime game by week 2 in your first year is a great job.
Yeah.
Now, you have a week off. That means it's track week, which means you got to get the conditioning down. I hated it, but you have to do it.
Yep.
Track meet Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of this week. Just warn the guys now. Don't bring out pads or footballs. I'm just kidding. You're too nice a guy, Coach Graneri.
Yeah.
But Tom Coughlin would say, guys, we're not having a football, we're having a track meet.
Yeah. All right, Glenn, thanks so much.
No problem. Good luck to the Raiders. See you guys.
Okay, bye-bye.
And that was Will Graneri, head football coach for Washington Academy Raiders, interviewing our remote coach or consultant, Glenn Foley, former NFL player. And this is Lupe. You're listening to Classic Hits 92.7, 95.3.
This has been Street Beat, Classic Hits public affairs and information program. Views and opinions expressed are not necessarily those of Classic Hits Radio's management or staff.